I think we're at one of those times where they're starting to manufacture the next iPhones, which is why we're starting to see a lot of rumors coming about the next iPhone. The iPhone, is it going to be iPhone 8, the 10th anniversary iPhone? Some say iPhone X. We don't know. Pretty clear, 3 phones, at least right now. And there'll be one really expensive, more than $1,000 high-end version. That's the one that'll have the OLED screen, which all the other Android phones mostly have now. But Apple's always avoided. They couldn't get enough. They make so many phones, they couldn't get enough. But they made a deal, as we know, and this we know is more than a rumor, with Samsung for 160 million OLED screens. That's probably about a year's worth of iPhone sales. Maybe not quite a year, maybe 3/4 of iPhone sales. They're going to have, there's some debate over whether, and I'm curious what you think, they're going to abandon the Lightning port.
Well, I think that the first story was that they're going to abandon the
Wall
port.
Street Journal said
yes,
this,
the Wall
yeah.
Street Journal said port, but I think they misspoke, and I think what they meant was the connector. So, like the deliver. I think they will have USB-C delivery into the Lightning port.
I don't understand that because...
Well, it's faster.
Faster than Lightning charging?
Yeah.
Well, I think Apple could have fast charging on Lightning. I don't think there's anything to keep
You
them
don't
from
think
doing
that?
that.
Well, then what? Why would you use?
It makes no
USB-C?
sense. I mean, you can buy. It's cheap. Type-C to Lightning connectors. I have plenty of Type-C chargers because a lot of the devices I have Type-C chargers, so I can do a Type-C, innie and a charger to a Type-C Audi on a cable that goes to Lightning.
Does it?
The only reason that would make sense for Apple to do this is because they can't right now. You can't connect to the new MacBooks or the MacBook Pros directly with your Lightning cable. You have to, because it's Type-C on the laptops. But why is that a news story? Apple's going to make a cable that lets you connect to your computer?
Well, it's
That's
a
not
rumor
news.
that someone made into a news story by calling it a port when it wasn't a port.
It could be sloppy reporting on the Wall Street Journal's part. The Wall Street Journal, here's why I give it some credence. The Wall Street Journal, and this was one of those articles, very often will write articles sourcing people with knowledge of this, not rumor mill, but people with knowledge. They're talking to Apple. Mm-hmm. And Apple uses the Wall Street Journal for a couple of things. One, to tamp down expectations. A lot of times before an Apple event, they'll give a story to the Wall Street Journal saying, no, we aren't going to do a 15-inch iPad. They don't say we. They want to say somebody with knowledge or the knowledge of Apple's business plans or whatever. Sometimes they'll leak a trial balloon to the Wall Street Journal. What do you think? And I think this was a trial balloon. Mm-hmm. What would people say if we said we're getting rid of the Lightning port? But for whatever reason, I fully believe this came from Apple. Now, maybe the Wall Street Journal misunderstood. Maybe the reporter misunderstood. Although that's a weird misunderstanding if you read it. And also, what does it mean? Okay, you're going to put a Type-C cable in the box. That's not newsworthy.
Okay,
you could do fast charging with Lightning. That's not the reason for it.
So what you're saying is right now you have USB-C on one end, Lightning on the other. If you plug it into your MacBook or any place, it's the same speed of charging.
Yeah. But so...
But maybe something's inside. Can something inside the device make it faster? Like
Apple could instantly make the charging as fast as they want. The reason that you see fast charging on Android is because they use a Qualcomm quick charge technology. They're using Qualcomm chipsets. Apple uses makes its own processors. And they could absolutely have fast charging. You do get faster charging if you put a higher watt charger, right? If you use your iPad charger on your iPhone, it charges faster. Even faster if you use your MacBook charger on your iPhone. It doesn't require Type-C to give you fast charging. Lightning is completely capable of doing fast charging.
Okay.
So I'm not sure it was a very confusing story. Mm-hmm. I actually give there's some credibility to the notion that after only 5 years, Apple would abandon Lightning and go to Type-C. They're part of the Type-C consortium. They helped develop Type-C. That's why it's on their laptops. They had to go to Lightning because it wasn't ready in 2010 when Apple they had to get off the 30-pin. And they've got courage. I think if they saw a real advantage to going to Type-C, they know they'd get a lot of pushback from people, everybody, you and me, who spent hundreds of dollars on Lightning port connectors.
Right.
docks and
Yeah,
cables.
but then there's the remote for the Apple TV. There's my AirPods. There's
Well, they're in this. Here's the point. They're in this kind of weird situation where they have both Type-C charging for their laptops and Lightning charging for a lot of other devices, including the AirPods that just came out. I can see Apple biting the bullet and saying, look, this is a bad situation. We're going to have to make this change. Let's just do it. You know when we'll know? We'll know it sooner than later, like in the next month, because they'll announce new iPads. If the new iPads still have Lightning, if Apple remains, committed to Lightning, then probably the new phones will have Lightning. But they're rapidly. This is becoming a problem because every other phone, every other device, every other computer, even Apple's own computers, use Type-C.
Okay, so they're going to announce iPads next month?
Oh yeah.
You think? Oh, I just told my dad to buy a new iPad.
Oh, it might be in the next few weeks. It might be the end of March.
Well, he got the Baby Pro, and he'll be happy with it.
Don't tell him. But this is the one where there'll probably be a 10.5-inch iPad Pro. It'll be this size, but there'll be bezels. This is the 9.7-inch iPad Pro, but the bezels will be smaller, so they'll be able to get more screen. I think that's going to happen. In fact, if you look at these bezels on this iPad, they're kind of ridiculously large when you compare it to what other people are doing.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Dad.